Blessings to all, and welcome to another episode of Elevate the Mic. And I'm your host, Max Mupese. Today's an interesting day. The reason why it's an interesting day is because we have a guest who not only has an ear for music, who not only has an impact in the community of Montreal, but somebody who I dearly respect, who has a lot of experience in hosting, MCing. He's actually a radio host. So without further ado, we have the one and only Wizzy Moonchaser. How you doing, man?
This is nice, man.
You know?
This is nice. Thanks for having me, man.
Pleasure, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Every day's a good day. You get a host and talk that hip-hop thing, so let's get to it.
Yes. So Wizzy Moonchaser, was Wizzy Moonchaser, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's that mean? Why'd you call yourself Wizzy Moonchaser?
Well, it's two parts, right? So first part's a play on my name, and it also has to do with Jay-Z. So Jay-Z has this line where he goes, I aim for the clouds, so even when I fail, I land within the clouds, right? And Wizzy Moonchaser comes from the fact that I'm born in the moon month. I'm born in July, and my middle name is Wilfred. So I said Wizzy Moonchaser. Also, I want, when you start host and say, you know what, I'm gonna become this person, you want to create a name that, still true to the urban side, but that white people are gonna like, and people like Wizzy Moonchaser. So it just worked for me, and it just rolls off the tongue too, and it makes you stand out and be different as well.
Got it.
So it worked for me. I like it.
That's it. So you believe in astrology, if I'm not mistaken? Astrology.
No, I just like Jay-Z. So I just try to embed it whatever parts I can apply to my life, and that's what I did.
Got it. And you grew up in Côte-des-Neiges, Uptown, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Côte-des-Neiges. We call it Snow Hill now. We like to remix everything. But yeah, I grew up in Uptown.
Right.
Went to Marcus Garvey Day Camp, went to leadership. So I've done every program in the Côte-des-Neiges Black community growing up. So yeah, from Uptown.
Got it. And how was that growing up? Like, how would you say was your upgrowing?
Uptown was fun because I went to the super high school. So I went to Wager. So once they closed Coronation, every top basketball player or urban guy went to Wager High. So you have the top guys from Burgundy, Uptown, DG, and a few guys from LaSalle. So going to Uptown was dope because you have one side you have the drug dealers and the basketball players, and then you had a few guys that rap, but no one was ever like, I'm gonna be the next I'm gonna be the next DJ Envy or the next Charlamagne. Even at the time, there wasn't those guys around. Right. So it's just Stern. So it's like, I'm gonna be the next Howard Stern. No one was trying to do that. Everybody was trying to play ball or rap. Right. But I always knew I'm gonna do this. And you had Don Smooth on, so it's funny because we grew up listening to Don Smooth and taping the songs off the radio. Right. But nobody was growing up saying, I'm gonna be the next big radio syndicated host in the country. Nobody came up doing that.
So what inspired that idea? Just watching?
Big
106 and Park.
Yeah, so way before 106 and Park, we had a thing called Big Tig in the Basement.
Yeah, man.
I thought how dope was not to say to do a traditional interview where it's you sit down and artists come and they trying to do their rollout or talk about new albums and things of that nature. Big Tig in the Basement was dope because artists came and they just were themselves. Yeah. Everybody had their mama's basement, so everybody came up with everybody could identify that aspect of it. And then he had the booth, they'll freestyle. And it was just cool because the content was just so organic and just so genuine. So I've always told myself, if I were to ever create a platform like that, that would be the vibe I want. And then of course, man, Martin. You can't be say you didn't grow up watching Martin. What was Martin's profession? He was a radio host, but he was a fun radio host. So when you put those two kind of inspirations together, that made it all for me. And then also coming up with K-Slay, DJ Drama. I love the way they did the over-the-top intros, but also embedding things maybe from the artist or what's going on at the time. So if it's a Thanksgiving one, all his intros are about Thanksgiving team. Right. So we blend those three together. That's why I came up with Wizzy Moonchaser, and that's what I wanted to do.
Got it. You said two things. Well, one, Wager High. I remember the days because I grew up in DG, right? And
Powerhouse.
And when I'd hear Wager, I always thought of a baby version of the movie Lean on Me. I don't know what was going on there, but it felt like things were wild.
This is what happened at Wager. So Wager was a crazy intersection of, you had drug dealers, you had pimps, you had guys that really killed dudes, and then you had some of the flyest girls in the city from the Tri-Boroughs to Uptown DG Burgundy, all in one school. You know what I mean? I remember free gym was you might lose your life for free gym. Free gym was real. Jeez. But also too, it was cool because that was the last instance where you saw old heads school the younger dudes. Now everybody that's under 28 is just a whole different kind of madness. But Wig was dope. It showed you how to stay in your lane. I mean, if you were a basketball player, they allow you to do that. If you were a hustler, a drug dealer, you did that. And if you were a black nerd, you did that. So I was friends with all three different groups of people in that, and I was able to apply that and make it work for me.
Got it. You also touched on people who inspired you. I understood it was K-Slay, DJ.
Yeah, K-Slay, the man, the late great K-Slay.
Rest in peace. And you talked about Big Tigger. So the over-the-top intro, I get the impression that you got that from K-Slay, if I'm not mistaken, or from Martin, as a mixture of both.
Martin gave me personality. You understand that when you're a host, it's a very unique position because it's an oral discussion, especially with people's attention span kind of like wane at this point. How do you keep people's attention span? How do you make this interesting? Especially when I interview like higher case celebrities like a Mahalia or people from OVO. When you interview people like that, they've done thousands of interviews. How do you make this exchange interesting? How do you make this memorable? And the personality aspect that Martin added to it, I got that from that. But the intros, that's DJ Drama.
Right.
DJ Drama, Gangsta Grills. Gangsta Grills changed my life. Gangsta Grills changed my. But the problem is sometimes you listen to so much of these things, and I'm like a sponge, and I didn't want to take too much of the stuff.
Right.
So I had to create a whole persona. And I did that when I did the Power Hour with KT, and then I created characters, and I'm acting out or calling out people that's not even in the scene. But no one teaches you to do that. It's either you know how to do it or you don't know how to do it.
That's it. And you got the chance to interview. You interviewed me a few times. On your platform. For anybody who's watching this, host of the Morning Detour.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No.
But yeah, Morning Detour. So for anybody who does not necessarily know about the Morning Detour, could you tell us a little bit more about that show?
Oh yes, man. What a labor of love. So before I go into that, one of my favorite movies is The Notebook. I know it's weird because people look at like, oh, black urban guys want to watch The Notebook. But what's dope about The Notebook is that the house that he builds in The Notebook is his labor of love. And that's how I kind of view the Morning Detour, because I'm looking at it as like, we don't have a radio show or a platform like before now with everybody having a podcast, but even everybody having their things now, it doesn't feel like the Morning Detour. So the Morning Detour is Montreal's first and only urban morning show. Right. So it's the only show that's competing with all the other morning shows in the city. But it's a hip hop morning show. So we play all new music. Originally, I just wanted to play Kanye and Future, but as thousands and thousands of people start listening to the show, I'm like, okay, well, now I have a broader audience. I'm gonna start playing everything. But I want a platform where we could discuss things in the news, things happening in our city, of course, but also things in black culture from a black lens. I've had a myriad of different co-hosts, but I've always pride myself on any platform I've had to always have a smart black woman on the show that's really from the streets, but you know, that's a little educated, that knows how to articulate that, and to be in different modes. So creating more details, so it's a mix of polarizing conversations. We do editorialization, and we do themes, we do topics, and we play some of the hottest music. We rotate DJs. Now we have an in-house DJ Nels. She be doing things, but we've had a slew of DJs. So we play hot music, we talk that madness, and we have a great time from 7 to 9. It's early as hell.
Hey, if anybody does not know, man.
But what we're gonna do now, because people's like, yo, no one listens to radio, but it's on everything. You can say, Alexa, play the Morning Detour. It's gonna run, right? CKUT does have it on their platform, but we have themorningdetour.com come in. So the first thing you go on the page, we'll have the player, everything's there. Because people seem to think that once you do a show in the morning, it just doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
It still exists. People keep telling me it's a podcast. It's not a podcast. It's an actual morning show. I compete with all other FM morning shows. CJD wanted me, but they wanted me to change my name to go back to my government name. Okay. So it's like I built this whole persona, which is Wizzy Moonchaser, only to be wasted away to go back to that. And also, I'm not really down doing tokenism episodes, where it's like, you're going to tell me what to produce. If I come in one morning and I want to do an episode talking about Kanye, I'm going to do that. And it's different from us talking about it opposed to like Beats or Vibe doing it, because we're really black and we're really from the urban culture. So the landscape or the lens is just different.
You said an interesting word, an important word. You said tokenism.
Yeah.
Could you tell us how important it is for you to not, quote unquote, fall for that trap, or even
well, it depends on what you want to do. It depends what you want to do. Like, everybody wants to get paid for what they do.
Right.
So I was in a think tank with Black on Black Films last week, and they were talking about that. There's a line between creativity and commercialism, right? So creativity is what we create the madness. Like the moment you thought I created that. Right. So we crave about that. But also at some point you don't want to get paid for it. Now you get into a commercial kind of vibe now. Now they want to structure you. They want to produce it. They want, it's the politics of it. It's like if you compare it to like an artist. It's a backpack rapper versus a commercial artist.
Right.
It's like, don't want to stay true to the grain, but you're gonna be in this little box, or do you want to sell? Some people call it selling out, or do you want to go to a major level of your game and get paid for what you're doing? So it's a thin line between the two. Thank God we have the internet. Man, if the internet was there, and thank God we have satellite radio, where there's a place like Sirius XM where I can hopefully ascend to, where I can still swear, still be myself, and still get paid for that. But also, if you're popping, if you're hot, if you create a platform and it drives people to it, no matter if you're on commercial or if you're backpacking, ad money is going to come regardless.
Right, that's it.
If you create something and thousands and thousands of people are consuming it, or you're a voice for this or this demo, they're going to come.
That's it.
So it's just about you getting out there and doing that. So how you go about that? Some people hire marketing firms, some people do it organically. How you go about that's how you go about that. But at some point, if you create something that's hot, advertisers are going to come. And then you could dictate how you want to move with that.
Because you're standing on business. You know, you're talking your truth at the end of the day.
But man, the bag is alluring, man.
Right,
man. You know, it was like, oh, selling out's the worst thing. But listen, man, when you put so many hours in for free, and you know, all the equipment we buy for the show, paying DJs, all the graphics, we pay for all that out of pocket.
Okay.
So when you keep doing that, he's like, man, selling out would be nice, man. That bag, I ain't gonna hurt you. That bag of money sound nice. You sell, I get that nice little check. I gotta change my name. I gotta follow you guys' script.
Right.
That's alluring.
Yeah.
And also too, most people now are more content just being famous opposed to just doing the damn thing.
Right.
I didn't just want to be famous. I wanted to do a credible morning show that could compete with the Breakfast Clubs or Sway show in the West. We could compete with those guys. You listen to our shows, and our shows all the same thing. Only difference is that they, on a more frequent basis, they get top tier artists. But I have a deal with Warner Music Canada. You know, so I do a lot of their artists. I'm doing Mahalia in 2 weeks. So I've done a lot of top tier artists. And even done when they come, like, oh shit. Oh, there's cool dudes in Montreal. Because you only think Ricky D and Malik Sheed. I know they always kill me when they say that.
That's it.
And you know, Ricky D's had his show on CKUT, and I'm a big fan of those guys. I've sat down with them, I had dinner with them. But I want artists, no matter if you're a recording artist, if you're a celebrity or a comedian, whatever it is, when you come to Montreal, I want the vibe to be like, yo, I gotta stop by the Detour. Kind of like how Angie Martinez has it. And I think Angie Martinez is one of the greatest people to ever do radio because it's just a vibe. It's like, yo, I gotta check Angie. Whether you have something coming out, whether you have a story, we just want to kick it, you want to check Angie. And I wanted to create that vibe with a more Detour. You come to Montreal, I gotta stop by the Detour just to shoot the shit, see what's going on. We drink at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then my mom kills me. She's like, how do you guys do that? Yeah, we drink, and we all go to work after.
Right.
So, but we drink, but
responsibly.
It just creates a vibe. Valerie Plante keeps dodging the smoke, which I don't understand. Because, and, you know,
they want you.
She keeps dodging smoke. Now they just don't answer my email. So she's refused that. Like, I get it, Valerie. I'm not going to talk about the police scams and why we have fucking bike paths everywhere in the city. I know you try to make us Montreal like a little Italy.
Right.
But it's weird. Valerie Plante won't do the show. I'm the #1 urban morning show in the city. Right. But I've had Dominique Anglade, and she's like 18 ranks politically above her. I've interviewed the Honorable Justine. What's her name? The lady
from Montreal North, if I'm not mistaken.
No, the lady. She's in Toronto. They built mad hospitals. They built schools and stuff. She's the reason why we celebrate Black History Month in Canada. She's worked. She was like the secretary to the PM for many years. She's traveled with. She's been an ambassador for Canada for many years. I went to her house in Toronto, and it's funny because it's funny you go to someone's house and then the park next to her house is named after her. I think her name is the Honorable Jean Augustine. I think that's her name. If I'm messing up, I know your producer John will fix it in the credits. But it's weird. Like our mayor won't sit down with me, but then she'll do like a off the track podcast that makes no sense. Like what does Valerie think I'm gonna do? Ask her hard questions. Right. And also too, they've never sat down with a guy that was really street, but we're really educated. Yeah. Like I have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in public.
Relations?
Public management. What's it called? Project management from McGill. Okay. We really do. Tata's working on her PhD. Sometimes she teaches at Concordia. Like we're hood, but like we could have a credible conversation as well. But I don't know. Valerie Plante's dodging the smoke. I just want to say that. I just want to say that. But I seen her in person. She's real nice. She's real nice. I guess she's always smiling. You gotta be aware of people that always smile all the time. On that Wayne Brady, Magic Johnson, you gotta be aware of people always smiling. Always smiling. She's always smiling.
Right. Show that Miss Goody Two Shoes image.
Man, she dodging the smoke, man. She dodging the smoke.
Got it. I mean, it's good that you're approaching it. It's good that you had that background. You have that background, you know, scholar background, and you know also street smart, because you know you're also a man of the people. You show up and you really show out for the people. For her to have that conversation with you would just pretty much show her true colors when it comes down to, like, you know, talking to the people and connecting with the people. That's pretty much what we want, you know?
Yeah, and that's a title I never wanted to do. Like, for many years I told people, like, I'm not a role model. Right. I like hip-hop, I like Kanye. When I did the morning show, I just wanted to play Future and Kanye. And before that, when Obama went into office, we had started doing podcasts. Way before podcasts became popular, me and this guy, KT from Miami, we did a show called The Power Hour. Right. And KT's a super producer where a super producer is the guy that artists fly out across the world. Like, he's so good that our artists will fly him out so he can produce a song and then they'll fly him back home.
You serious?
Yeah, so that's the guy that I started doing this thing with. He's back in Miami now. And doing those kind of things, we just loved hip hop. Like, for many years, we never even videotaped our shit. We just loved the culture. And I just felt like being in Montreal and being a guy that grew up listening to Don Smooth and came up with K103, the late great Flux and all these guys. Why don't we have a dope urban morning show. You know what I mean? Like Toronto had one, they got rid of the guys, then they brought them back, and then they syndicated from the Breakfast Club, which is stupid, right?
Right.
So we have all these amazing hosts in this country, but you guys don't syndicate from another popular show from the States. So that's like saying like we're all garbage in Canada, which is not true.
Overlooking what's happening
Which is not
here,
true.
you know?
I've had the opportunity to sit down with Charlamagne the God, but it was either sit down with Charlamagne the God or host the NBA trophy. I'm gonna do the NBA trophy. I'm gonna see Charlamagne the God. There's only three dudes like me in the whole country anyway.
And then, before you keep going, you said the NBA trophy was here specifically.
Yeah,
right?
so when the NBA trophy, so
Chris Boucher.
Chris Boucher. So I grew up playing AU balls at Sun U, so that kind of saved my life. So I played with the likes of Chris Joseph that went to the NBA, the Maurice Joseph that played at Michigan, and now coaches I think in Washington. One of my good friends, and when I met him, he didn't even talk English. When I met Ibrahim Mapia, he didn't even talk English.
Okay,
and now to see him,
the manager. He's managing
Yeah, he
Chris.
lived up the street from me. We've known each other since we're 12, 13 years old playing ball at Sun U. He spoke no English at all when I met him. Now he spends his time, once a week he sends me pictures. So it'll be a picture of him and Shaq, or him on the boat with celebrities, or him with Penny Hardaway.
Right.
So now, fast forward, what, 18, 20 years down the road now. Now he's the manager of Chris Boucher, who plays for the Toronto Raptors. So we have that kind of friendship. And when Toronto Raptors won the NBA trophy, he called me up and said, like, listen, we're bringing the trophy to Montreal. We'd like NBA Canada and Tidal would like you to host the event. So I did that. I'm like, let's be honest, we're never going to see the trophy again in Canada.
That's facts.
And, I'm a big Kobe guy, so to come close to the trophy, like, yeah, I took pictures with it. You can't really touch it. They bring handlers and security with it. But yeah, I can throw that on my resume. I hosted the NBA trophy. Like, I saw it. I was approved by Tidal, and NBA Canada was great. Chris Boucher was there, so we did that. So, but that same day, Charlamagne the God came, and I was offered to do that, sit down with him. So I chose to do the NBA trophy. I'm gonna see Charlamagne in the game.
That's it. You know what I mean? It could be for a picture. Who knows how many minutes?
And once they be for a conversation, like, I'm really looking forward to meeting Joe Budden. That would be like my favorite guy. I love some Joe. Joe's my guy.
To spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I like the conversation. But also too, I've been in this long enough to understand, like, all the love reality shows, all stuff, like, a lot of people know, it started with Joe. When Joe did Joe Budden TV, that was before the Love and Hip Hops and all these things. That started with Joe. And what's cool about Joe, I see a guy that the hip hop culture has, shunned and cast out. Right. He was the underdog, and now he's the #1 podcaster in the world. Right. Well, behind in hip hop, #1 podcaster is Joe Rogan. Yeah. Shine sharp coming from him though. He on his heels.
It's different.
But in hip hop, we talking about speaking about the culture. Joe Budden is the guy, and this is the guy that everybody showed their ass to. So I love that underdog story, and he stayed true to himself. He figured out a way how to reinvent himself time and time again, and that's what I like about Joe Budden.
I like that you're saying that, but I want to play the devil's advocate, or even think about Joe Budden's approach. People sometimes say, it could be borderline shit talking and not really giving out game or even schooling youngins. How would you say? What would you say about that?
Just because you have a show doesn't mean I have to give you game about anything. And Joe Budden does give a lot of insight in the game. Like, I heard an episode about him the other day and made me depressed. Just talking about the music industry and AI and how, like, people don't go to albums. Concerts have become so expensive that it's becoming a luxury. Like, the game's messed up. It got me kind of depressed. His insights on the music business is second to none because he's been there on all different levels. A lot of people shit on Joe because, like, oh, you're never a big star like Drake. The Drakes and the J. Cole are the 1%ers. Only a small group of people will ever even ascend to the level of a Drake or Kendrick. Anyway, I mean, if you played, for example, playing basketball, if you play in the NBA, you've played in the NBA, you're a professional basketball player. Right. Listen, you may have never gone to MVP. You may have never been invited to the All-Star game, but you played in the league. Yeah. Only a handful of people played in the league. Same way I approach Joe Budden when he talks about music. And also, too, everybody's too damn sensitive. I didn't want to swear. I didn't want John to start bleeping out because I know you've had all these professionals on. Everybody's just too sensitive.
No, you could be yourself,
The minute you put out something to the world in terms of content, video, music, whatever it is, you open up yourself to being criticized. Right. This idea that you're going to put something out for the whole world to see and everybody's going to be like, oh, we're going to be kumbaya, we're going to be cool about it, that's absurd. When you put something out, you're opening up yourself to people criticizing it. And if you can't handle that, you shouldn't be doing public things.
That's real.
Now, listen, you don't like Joe's delivery, you don't like what he says, you know what I mean? His great stuff, I love when he comments on Drake. And then all the Drake fans, and I'm a big Drake guy too, all Drake was like, well, you were next successful in business. Well, Joe Budden had a hit. And I look at longevity too. He was in the game for a long time, and he made the kind of music that I liked and I enjoy. And if you ever really sit down and listen to his insights on the music industry, it's very enlightening. And he's a dope guy, and he stands on business. This is a guy that you guys said will never make it. This is a guy that you guys have given your ass too many times, and now he's the #1 podcaster in urban culture. Right. I think that's pretty dope to me.
So you beat the odds for the most part if
All
you look
day.
at it, you know?
All day, I'm a big Joe guy.
That's it.
All day.
And I want to touch on something that was recent, something huge, I would say. It was Duke Eatman. Shout outs to Duke Eatman, by the
Duke,
way.
the God.
He was a guest on the Morning Detour not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago. And he said it for himself that you're the next guy that people should look out for as far as
I wish my
hosts.
bank account could reflect that. Could reflect that kind of ideology. No, but hilarious. I do respect that. One of the things that's dope is that anything that you do in life, to be recognized by those in that feeling, those, you know, your counterparts, is one of the greatest feelings ever.
Right.
That's why I always kind of feel wild that, you know, they never nominate us or the show for Gala Dynasty or any other things where, when in terms of the guest, the conversation, our reach, we are that show, right? But you know, it's politics too. You know, awards is, you know, you shouldn't do what you do for awards or accolades. But it's good to be recognized by your peers, and I think that's one of the best things about, you know, that's one of the drawbacks that I like about doing what I do. That you, at some point, you will be recognized by your peers for the great work that you do, and to be recognized by Duke, someone that's been doing it for so long, CBC, all of that. Listen, I don't know if they'll, you know, I've had conversations with CBC. I don't know if they're gonna let me up there at CBC. I'm a little bit more spicy, but spicy is good, man. We can't all be cookie cutter. Like everybody has their vibe. But yeah, I was very honored to hear that. You know, get those flowers from Duke. I loved it.
That's serious. Just to think about, like you said, something important also, that you don't always want to walk on eggshells.
No.
And not be yourself and not really speak your truth, because you by you doing that, you're inspiring somebody who's quote unquote afraid to do it, but is gonna feel a way about, like, okay, you know what, I could do it because I see somebody is doing it right now. Yeah,
but you don't also too, like, you don't want to be an asshole either.
Right.
There's a thin line.
There's a thin line.
Like, you do have to understand how to read the room. Like, we had Dominican Clown on the show. She brought Secret Service. So I'm not gonna swear. I'm not gonna go certain places. Service. Yeah, the Secret Service. It's great when you're doing a major intro and you have a Sauté du Quebec surrounding you. They done block off the streets and you're looking at it like, oh, this is dope.
Right.
You know, I'm a dude from Côte d'Ivoire. They told me I'll never ascend to this. I'm like, this is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a thin line. You have to understand how to read the room. You can be edgy or push the envelope without going too far and being an asshole. People are gonna get offended regardless. No matter what someone's gonna be offended. Like the other day, somebody called our show and said we're being transphobic. Okay. And all we said was that in the world that we live in now, you can identify as anything. But some people just hear different pockets of the conversation without listening to the entirety of what the diatribe was. Yeah. But yeah, you're always gonna offend people. But you shouldn't do media. You shouldn't be an artist, or you shouldn't be a panelist or podcast, whatever the case may be, if you have thin skin. That's it. Because you're gonna get eaten alive. Like, if people's comments affect you, people's comments are going to affect you to a certain extent, but if you live your life based on how people react to the things you say, you're going to die in the waters. That's a fact. Yeah. You're going to die in the waters. Listen, I've had murder threats, I've had gun threats, I've had guys come for me. I'm the only guy to ever do a mixtape with all the dudes on the scene when I did the Hood to Hood mixtapes, and I had to sit down at 19 years old with gang leaders on the red side and the blue side, just because I loved hip hop. I'm like, I just want your artist. All this politics and red tape is like whatever to me. But yeah, I've had gun threats. I've had guys, you know, do what I do. Guys, I've had guys I grew up with turn their back on me. Millions of relationships squandered. It's like being a professional basketball player. Right. You can't. If you have the Mamba mentality, if you move like how Kobe moved, if you're really dedicated to your craft, you can't do this to the full extent and have all these other relationships moving at the same time. Something's gonna have to give. Gotta have that laser focus and just, you know, X out everything that's not really beneficial to your career or whatnot. Yeah, discipline's a bitch. That's real talk, man. I mean, when you also think about how the next generation is moving, whenever we're talking about, you know, hip hop for the most part, what would you say is something that stands out at this very moment for the city that you're proud of, and something that could be improved? Next generation. Yeah. Well, yo, them dudes is working together. You know, man, I had to do a major mixtape to get different guys working together. Doing my show, a lot of young people do hit me up, send me emails. I do bump into them in the streets when I go to events. And to see different groups, there's a lot of pockets of young guys that are, they built like a dungeon family, like, kind of like how Timbaland and Magoo and Missy, that there's groups, there's collectives of young people that do music, and they're crews, so they have 2 guys are the video guys, 1 guy's the producer, 3 guys rap, and the other guy's kind of the manager guy, and there's a lot of these smaller collectives with a lot of the young people, and I love that organizational aspect that they have going on, and the collectiveness that they have going on. I really love that. What I don't like the fact that our music grants are mostly in French, and there's not more of a cohesiveness between the what they call Quebec rap here?
Rap Keb?
Rap
Right,
Keb,
right, right.
Rap Keb. There's not enough synergy between the Rap Keb and the English side of the rap. And also too, like, we have a city with so much talent. You know, guys like Kate Trinata. So many celebrity artists come here and get production work done. A lot of people don't know this. And we don't have an urban station. And we can have an urban station with rap keb and English rap on at the same time.
Right.
And when I sit on my major panels, I was on a major panel with a whole bunch of radio bigwigs from like Beats and Vibe. And they were saying that multinational corporations like the Kellogg's, the Tim Hortons, the Bells, the Videotrons, they don't feel that there's money in hip hop. Which is very alluring to me because hip hop's the number one genre of music in the world. They make millions and billions of dollars in the States.
Right.
So for you to say that there's no money in hip hop in Canada is absurd.
It's insulting.
The fact is you guys don't want to invest money into it. You guys don't want to see a whole bunch of black millionaires run around the city. Like, it's just simple as that.
Right.
It's simple as that. We have all this talent in the city and we don't have a hip hop station, which is crazy. So we're creating all the content, but we don't have no platform to distribute it. Yeah, we have the internet, all that, but it'd be dope to have a hip hop station that's constantly running the music, constantly having a conversation. Like, it's like we're shooting ourselves in the foot here. Like, what are we really doing? The fact that all these artists in the city always have to go outside the city, it's cool. At some point, you have to go outside. You have to spread your brand. But the fact that right off the top, you have to go on the road, it's crazy. We have no hip hop station. We have all this hip hop talent. It's mind-boggling. I think it was Beats or doesn't matter. One of the major commercial radios. They literally said on the panel they rather play 90s hits than even play new rap.
Okay, they said that themselves.
They said their demo prefers that. They rather play 90s hits. This is the city we live in. This is the city we live in.
Right, right, right. It says a lot about, you know, what they, it goes back to what we were saying earlier, overlooking what's happening in the city, overlooking the talent that we have. And, you know, you being here and expressing yourself about that, that's already a plus because, you know, people are going to know, okay, you know, it's actually happening. There's
but the people also have to, people also have to come out too. The people also have to demand it too. The fact that Virgin and Beats and those guys are able to say these things is because their demo comes out. They're 40 plus, their baby boomer demo, they come out. Our generation, we're just cool. Everyone's just cool doing videos, going viral, stuff like that. But like no one will say, like, listen, we don't have a hip hop station in Montreal. No one's up in arms about it.
Right.
Like, it's cool. We'll just be on IG and TikTok. We're all right with that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm learning a lot about what's happening in different parts of the world, like cities that are booming as far as the hip hop and whatnot. But I listened to one Instagram live of DJ Who Kid. Yeah, he had an Instagram live, and he talked about his experience in the UK. That was powerful. He's like, by going there, he reached out to the people. Well, the people reached out to him, and then he got booked for a show. But what they emphasized, they told him, like, look, you being a DJ here in UK, just make sure you got to play the UK songs. Like, that's the #1 criteria for you to be a.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? So like they emphasize, they set the standard exactly.
Because one of my biggest dreams is to do BBC One. You know, to get on one of those Charlie Slot shows. To do BBC Ones. I've been to the UK before, but not as radios. But one of my biggest dreams to do BBC One. I would shut that place down. I would shut that place down. Also, I have that Drake effect, where it's that like no one hosts or do intros, or no one is me or have my personality.
Right. That's a fact.
So you're always gonna stand out at that standpoint. Like, how crazy it would be. Like they think we only talk French. When I go to the States, I have to literally convince Americans that I'm from Montreal.
Right, they don't believe
How bewildering is that? Like, they don't like, nah, man, you from Philly, fam. Like, nah, bro, I'm from Montreal. Like, where it's cold, the grass. I'm like, nah, the grass is in Toronto. No, I'm from where they have poutine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I constantly have to convince guys. Even when I interview celebrities, they're like, yo, you from Montreal? I'm like, yeah. I'm proud to be from Montreal. There's nothing wrong with being from Montreal. I'm born here. I can speak fluent French. I'm cool with it. But now it's wild, man. BBC wanted to go to UK. Oh, man, it'd be beautiful, man. I would shut that place down. I'll even put some French in my intro just for the sake of it, just for the pageantry. And that's the thing, too. Not enough people have pageantry. They're not. It's not fun no more. It's like, they're just a thing. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to flood you guys with videos and be loud. No one's a thing. Like, you guys are not fun about it. It's like so serious, so tight, or so like...
Make it exciting, you know, people want to know.
Or so fame-driven. Like, do you guys even like the culture? But to go to UK, I'll kill that shit. I want to go to all the drill parties. I want to be there with my ski mask. I'll be jumping around. I want to wear the little purse around the thing. I'll be messing with dudes. Dudes they don't have fun no more.
You said an interesting answer when I said how they set a standard for DJ Who Kid to play the UK songs.
They don't do that here.
You said I was gonna say, you know what I'm saying? So like, to have that standard, do you think that's something that that's realistic at this point, or it's gonna take a few years?
Well, every show, every hip hop show in Montreal, because of the CRTC, you have to play Canadian content.
Right.
Every show do that. What needs to happen is that more of the publicists that are backing all these artists, you guys need to make a list of all the radio shows and send the music. Like Tegan's team does, a couple people's team, they do that. Well, every time they do music, they'll send it to the radio show, they'll send it to my show. There needs to be more of that, because I can't play the music if I don't have it. I do have a team that, like, you know what I'm saying, we don't have the backing of a Virgin or Beats. So like, to get all the music, it'll help if y'all will send us the shits.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So we could play it. I love to play more things. And then let's be honest, man, not all the music is good. And you know, and that's not hate, that's just a fact. Not everybody that makes music is good. Like there is you have to crawl, you have to walk, you have to run. Not everybody makes good music. But we do have good music in the city.
Right, but when you say good, because it could be subjective, are you talking about good in a way where like their approach is trash, like they're talking some nonsense, or is just like they're not being authentic as artists?
Well, authentic is subjective, but in terms of being good, if we're gonna put it on air, would people enjoy? Would they be a group of people that's gonna enjoy listening to this? Is it produced right? Is it mixed? Are you talking about something? Is it a song? It don't have to be a hit, but is it a song? You know what I mean? Can she bump it? Is it a song? I mean, like just because you feel you can get in the studio and you can rap, it's like I'm a rapper. Okay, cool. You can do the art of rapping, but can you make a song? Does it sound good? Can we work with it?
Is it replay value? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's replay value. You know, people have different styles. You know, I like the backpacker vibe, but I also like the high energy shit too. Like, you know, I wish I knew more about EDM, because I would throw on if you told me 10 years ago all I had to do was throw on a freaking bobblehead mask and go around a bum and just do that, I would have done that a long time ago. God damn, I want to get some of that EDM wave too.
Yeah, you get that money too, man.
Yeah,
that's what.
But can you just make a song? Can you make a song that's, you know, and you know, I know we've kind of gone away from the whole 330s or the 430 songs. Everything's kind of like a verse, two verse and one hook. But can you put together a structure? Can you put together something and put it out?
Yeah, I hope
that sonically sounds well.
I hope they taking notes, because that's important, man. Can you put out a song like a 16?
Yeah, please master your tracks. That'll help too. You know what I mean? Sending me the thing all wavy and listen, it's crazy. I've done enough mixtapes. I've been into enough people that do this for real to know that shit don't sound right. That shit don't sound right. If it's not mixed, I'm not gonna play it.
Right.
And then it sucks too, because then people get in their feelings. A lot of people message me and send me songs, and I tell people I'm not Puffy, I'm not Russell, but I do know what the hell sounds good. I came up with a DJ background. My godbrother is DJ Matt. He's been a sound engineer for over 25 years. DJ Stark, is a world-renowned DJ. That's my cousin. I'm good friends with Quite Saying, all the top DJs, the Blasters. I've interviewed 50s DJ, DJ Chubby Chub, DJ Technical, which is Jadakiss DJ. And I interviewed him after he did the greatest verses, which was Dipset versus The Lox. And I interviewed him on the back of that, so I know what it's supposed to sound like.
Right.
Shit don't sound right. Now everybody's going to, sometimes people get in their feelings, but they understand. On the show, you need to have a certain standard as well. If I played everybody, if I allowed everybody to come and say, then it'll just be diluted.
Trust me.
When you do the only urban morning show in the city, I like to have a little standards about it a little bit. I would like to think. So if some people are gonna get mad, some people are gonna get offended that, hey, some guys send me music and I say it's trash. I still have people sending me emails and I'm like, bro, it looks like you were in some rundown shack and you're trying to run the thing like it's trash. I try not to say it's trash.
Right.
I just say it's not ready yet.
Yeah, that's it.
You just try, you know. There's a way. Goes back to what I was saying. There's a way about being an asshole about it. It's not ready yet. But also, I'd rather you be mad at me, opposed to me trying to appease you and putting that track on my show just to be kumbaya. That's bullshit.
Gotta be authentic.
Some of the tracks are trash, and also too now that we're big time and stuff like that too. Right. I kind of look at the brand too. Like, you know, how are you looking? What's your aesthetics? You know what I mean? How's your video look? I'm looking at all of that, all those aspects as well. And if these things don't line up, why would I even promote and push you? You're not ready yet. You're not ready yet.
Got it. Makes sense. So whenever you create something, let's just say it's a show, you create a project, how would you say is the most efficient way for you to approach the project for anybody who's watching this and is kind of on the fence about, you know, becoming a radio host or becoming somebody who has that level of impact for the most part?
So a few things. One of the first things I like to do is research. So anything you do, you need to have a team. Like this whole, I'm gonna do this solo, this whole YOLO, you're gonna fail.
It's done.
You're gonna fail. I would never get here without my best friend Lorena. You need people that are experts in their field. Lorena, is an expert publicist, project manager as well. Like, you need to have experts in their field. So it starts with the research. You have to understand what you're going into. You research from a creative standpoint, and you have to research it from a business standpoint. So both sides have to be fed into. You have to talk to people that's already in the business. It just doesn't make no sense. Why would you go into something without talking to someone that's already walked those paths? Now a lot of people have their ego. Oh, I don't want to. But if you're trying to do this, it'll only benefit you. You have to get rid of your ego if you're trying to do this media thing. You have to get rid of your ego because you're gonna have to ask for help. You can't do this by yourself. No matter how many views you have, no matter how many followers you have, you can't do this by yourself. You're gonna need help. You gotta research. I'm a big doodler, so like I'm a post-it king. I keep a million post-its. I hate to lose ideas.
Right.
And you have to map this shit out. You have to map it out. Like I have a million diagrams. You have to map it out.
Structure.
You have to map. Yeah, from the smallest entity to the biggest landscape. You gotta map it out. And then at the top of that map, you put what is the biggest goal you're trying to achieve, and you just focus on that, and you just keep shooting for that.
Double down on it.
Yeah, you got to keep shooting that. But it starts with your team. You have to build a team, a support structure around you. Nobody does this by themselves. I have a great, amazing team, and you can't do it without them.
That's it. This show is brought to you by Urban Eats MTL. If you want to get some good food, hit up Urban Eats MTL. We appreciate you guys for the sponsor. Thank you. Now, last few questions I want to ask you.
Yeah.
When it comes down to what you're currently creating, as far as a brand, legacy, what is a goal that you want to attain within the next 5 years that is constantly on your mind?
Nationally syndicated radio show. Exactly what Howard Stern has. And it's no one's ever attempted it. No one black has ever attempted it.
Shit.
So whenever I talk to other people that's, what's her name? I interviewed the girl at the CBC Tonight, and me and her was having a ball with it. So I know people in the business. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do the nightly news, which I will kill a Tom Brokaw vibe. man, if we had a Good Morning America here, boy, I will kill that. But I'm so messy. I'll go on Salut Bonjour and just mess with them just for the sake of it, if they'll have me, because no one's ever done it. I'll do it just like to have a real urban black guy on there. Yeah, Salut Bonjour, what's up?
That's it.
You know what I mean? They're drinking their Tim Horton coffee. I'm having my Haitian coffee. That'd be cool. Like.
Right. Standing out.
They probably won't be open to it, but like no one's ever approached them on that.
Right.
So yeah, our biggest goal is just to be nationally syndicated across the country. I want them to play us in Calgary. I want them to play us in the forest reaches of Nunavut. And I'll even go there and do a live show. I've been trying to do a show in prison.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just all the communities they get to go, because apparently a lot of guys in jail listen to the show.
They listen, yeah. CKUT.
It's kind of awkward. It's kind of like an awkward shout out in the morning too, because a crime is a crime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, some of you guys are murderers and scoundrels.
Right.
But I appreciate all my listeners, so I do give them a little shout out. It's kind of weird, but yeah, to be nationally syndicated. We'll love to have a show on satellite radio, get a big bag. So everyone that's contributed to the show, all their free time, their time, there's a value to someone's time. Someone putting their time into your project, into your dream. I love to like give them a bag too. So for us to get paid at some point. So yeah, just to be nationally syndicated, and we're making steps towards that. We have the .com coming. It's now the platform's more accessible. We're about to hire a publicist. Really like Patrona a lot. I like how Patrona's hot right now. Yo, I just interviewed Miss Universe Haiti.
Okay.
That's crazy. I never thought I was going to talk to a Miss Universe. I'm like, you're gorgeous.
And how did that happen? Like,
yo, Patrona put up the thing and I sent an email. She's like, yo, she want to talk about the crisis in Haiti. And they lined it up, and a day later I did the interview. I talked to Pascal Bologna. She was Miss Universe Haiti 2021. That was great. Oh man, I be getting nervous to do the interviews. I did Maya last year, boy.
Yeah,
we got choked up. But yeah, just to get on satellite radio, I love to go around the world. Also, just to show people that every time I do a show, every time I go somewhere, I'm also representing Montreal hip hop, or just Montreal as a whole. So I love going on the road. We'd like to do more shows across the country, across the world. I think Halifax is going to be one of our biggest shows. Halifax is the Canadian version of our Dirty South.
True.
The longest running blacks are in Halifax. So Halifax is Canada's Dirty South. And I can't wait to go to Halifax and do live shows. And you just mix with the people.
That's it, man.
Mix with the people. So yeah, just to be nationally syndicated. That'd be the greatest dream.
Got it. Last question would be, what do you want people to remember Wizzy Moonchaser for?
My Pastor Thomas character. That's what. Just for someone that really loved the culture, someone that loved hip hop, And, you know, we bring a lot of issues to the table on our morning show. Some of them are polarizing, some of them are fun, depending on how you look at it. But just the fact that, you know, I was someone that wasn't afraid to have the tough conversations, to come and, you know, not try to sway you, but to give you all the facts and make you create your own judgment or create your own opinion on something. Just somebody that's just there for the people, man. I just love hip-hop. So that's what I like to be remembered for, just a great lover of black urban culture. Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for how many years?
The morning show, 6 years. Podcasting on the broadcasting, about 15. And then hosting stuff that we're about to be doing about 20 on that. So we're just having a great time doing it. Love the hate. Love the hate. The hate's great.
That's it.
Because, yo, everybody thinks they could do it till you press the on air.
That's it.
I've had a lot of guys, everyone thinks, you know, everyone could podcast, everybody has their phones. Everyone's like, oh, everybody could do it. I said, bet. Come sit down with me for an hour. Everybody thinks they could do it. See, different. You know what I mean? I've known you way before you were doing your hosting thing. It wasn't easy at first, was it? We gotta sit down and understand how to maneuver conversation. You had your questions lined up. He done answer question number 8. Now you're trying to figure out to yourself what you're doing, but you're still in conversation.
Gotta remember the cameras on.
Exactly. No one taught me that. You had to learn that on the go. What they did at Drink Champs, we were doing that 10 years ago. I started videos where I might call to invite my friends. We had the Yeti mics. We didn't even have the short mics. We was on the Yeti USB plugins. Shoot. And you know your sound engineers got the audio's all fucked up.
It doesn't sound the same.
I have the videos and we invited 50 people and we had liquor and weed smoke, and that taught me how to learn to manage a room of people.
Right.
And to do that. So, yeah, man, it's great, man.
Man, kudos.
This whole thing is a beautiful journey, man.
Kudos to you and your team, man. Kudos to you and your
me,
team, man. Absolutely. Keep going, man.
Yeah, Max the dude.
Appreciate you, man. That's a wrap. There we have it.
Thanks, man. This is great.